Hey everybody, it is Markcus with MEDstudentVANLIFE, and today's topic we're going to talk about is different ways to charge your batteries or to just have power inside of your camper. There are three different ways that I have thought about to charge them, which is the VSR, the voltage sensory relay system that works on charging your batteries from your vehicle's alternator. And then obviously the solar panels, and some folks are even using the Honda generator. All right, so as you can see here, this is my digital voltage sensor relay. I just mounted it right up to the top on some type of hard surface that wouldn't damage or it get knocked around and those type of things, you know. And what you do is, well, let's talk about what it actually does. So anytime I start the vehicle, what would happen is that the alternator, once it charges my main batteries, then, or get it up to a certain voltage, then it will send power to the back of my vehicle where I house my house batteries, which is pretty cool. So anytime I'm driving down this road, or if my batteries get low at night, which doesn't tend to happen, but I can start the vehicle, and especially when I use my microwave, because we all know that the microwave uses a lot of power. So what you do is, it will have clear instructions. You put here a hot, you have your positive here, and it will go in to a positive on one side. This little cord here is simply a ground. That's all it is, and I just put it over here to the ground. Voila, rocket science, right? So this other line here, this is the line that goes to the batteries. So what I did was, you can look down in the engine, it goes all the way down to the ground. And then from here, you can see that I zip tied it as well. And then it goes all the way to the rest of the vehicle. And I will show you guys here. You can see the line going up and through to the floor to the batteries. So once this battery, as I was saying before, gets to a certain charge, then this will kick on. It has a little indicator right here. It will turn red anytime it's sending power to your house batteries. I didn't want to turn on the vehicle right now because then it would be a lot of noise for you as you're trying to hear the video. So, but yeah, I love this thing. It is great, and it will charge your batteries relatively fast. So the digital voltage sensor relay, as I was saying before, you just run it back from the front of your engine all the way back to your batteries. Now, you have to remember that you have to put a ground. So once you put that on the positive on your batteries, you must also put a ground from the ground, your negative on the battery, to a place where you can find contact. So just keep that in mind. If you don't have a ground back there, it won't charge. Even though you have a ground here, you must have a ground coming from the batteries as well to really close that circuit. One thing about the VSR or the DVSR is that it's not that expensive, but it's not by any means cheap as well. You can look on Amazon. I will try to post a link in the description below. I think I paid about $95 for mine. I've seen other people have their videos where they've taken it back once they got solar panels, or they've returned it, or they sold it to someone else. In my opinion, I would never get rid of that thing, because even if it's snowing outside, if it's nighttime or what have you, only thing you have to do is turn on your vehicle for about 15 to 20 minutes, and at least you have some sort of power inside of your vehicle. So next on our list is solar panels. Let's talk about what type of panels I have, how many I have, and what is my opinion on them. All right, guys, so let's talk solar panels. Yeah, I know I'm back inside, but I didn't want to get up on the roof and cause, draw attention to myself. Again, I am in a parking lot. There's a busy street there. I don't want to draw attention to myself. But, so I have the Renogy. I have two 100-watt solar panels on the top of my vehicle, and I have the 30-amp Rover, the new Rover MPPT charge controller, which is right over here. I will also post the link as well to both of those so that you can check those out. As of right now, so everybody knows I'm in Chicago. It has been very cloudy for the past 5 or 6 days. I mean, it's Chicago, right? And relatively, I am relatively impressed with them. Even on a cloudy day, I'm still bringing in about 5 to 6 amps to charge my batteries. At first, I had a different charge controller, which was their really old one. I forget the name of it. I will post a link to it as well. But do not get that one, I promise you. But the MPPT charge controller allowed the solar panels to be more efficient while charging those batteries. I called them, they let me know that make sure that I had my panels in parallel, especially during the winter time. And what that allowed is for me to double however many amps per solar panel, which is pretty good, considering that, as of right now, my panels is at a good, my batteries is sitting at a 60%, and I haven't really had any problems out of it. A lot of people I have seen from the Facebook groups and other YouTube channels is that they really do love Renogy, and especially for myself, their customer service has been pretty good. I've called them and they've helped walk me through everything, even if I have questions. That's one thing for me I would pay for. Pay for good service. For me, it's priceless. So let's talk numbers for the solar panels. You could go for, especially I can only speak for Renogy because that's the ones that I particularly have. When you first start out, you can go the cheaper way, which was about $300. $300 on Amazon is what I think I saw. But you can get big, of course, you can upgrade it and those type of things. What I would suggest is making sure that you don't get a really cheap charge controller. Go ahead, invest the money, get a good charge controller so that you have more efficiency while charging your batteries. And so my opinion on the solar panels is absolutely, I would not do this without having some sort of solar panels, and I would never go under 200 watts. At that point, if you have big batteries, how are you going to really be able to charge your batteries up in a day with only a 100 watt and it's very cloudy, it's raining, or it's snowing outside? All right, so now that we've talked about the DVSR and we've talked about the solar panels in some sense, now let's talk about the generator setup. I've heard a lot of great reviews on the Honda 2200 watt inverter generator. I have not heard any bad reviews, honestly. If you've heard some bad reviews, leave it in the comments. Let us all know, because you could be saving somebody a headache. But one thing about the generator is that, of course, you have your pros and cons as well. Let's start with the pros that I thought about. One thing is that you have power all the time. Doesn't matter how much, how long you run, things, your refrigerator, your computer, your television, as long as it is in limits of the generator. No matter what is going on, you just plug that thing up and have, you have your, I think it's called your Sure Power, that will charge those batteries. Or there's some people who don't use batteries whatsoever, and they only use a generator, which is very common. If you think of a lot of motorhomes, actually most motorhomes don't have solar panels on them, and they use huge generators. So that's a setup. So yeah, you can use it all the time. It takes a great load and keeps your batteries charged, or keep everything in your vehicle running. And another thing is that you don't have to have those batteries, as we talked about. That could be a plus. Investing in batteries costs tons of money, especially if you go with a 200 amp hour battery, gel, or don't even get me talking about lithium batteries. So you have that. Not only that, it's reliable. No matter, as we said before, no matter the situation, you flip that thing on and you have power. You can charge up your vehicle if the battery goes dead, what have you. But even though there's pros, there's always those cons. You can't run that thing without without gas. Sorry, I don't think it runs on diesel. But you cannot run it without some type of fuel. And that is one of the deal breakers for me. I don't want to have to think about, okay, I need to have gas in order to run this thing. If I'm camping out for, a week, or I'm full time and I am here and I'm there, you got to make sure you have that gas. Yes, I can hear somebody saying, well, just get a gas can. Absolutely. You can get the gas can, but that's tons of space being taken up unless you get a 1 gallon. But at the end of the day, it's space being taken up, and it's more weight that's going onto your vehicle. Now, I don't know if people have done this or not, but I guess you could tie into your regular vehicle's gas line, maybe. Let me know in the comments if you can do that with this particular unit. I know for a fact for the big motorhomes and those things, that's what they do. So I'm sure somebody's probably done this before. But again, just let me know in those comments. So I don't really have anything bad to say about the generator. I don't know a lot about it because I haven't had any experience with it. But overall, over all three of those different things, I don't really see that the cons outweigh the pros. So as usual, guys, I thank you so much for your constant support and following the channel and following this whole med student van life that I am doing here. And if you like this video, check out the other videos. And if you like the video and subscribe. And if you really like this channel, hit that little bell there so that you can get notifications for upcoming videos.